Safety, one of the most important criterias if you're thinking about a Tesla. Well, in this video, we're going to cover Tesla safety. We're going to review the story of this family of four plummeting over the side of a cliff and the outcome, and give you examples of Tesla safety, something you want to know moving into 2023. If you're thinking about a Tesla, how safe are they? So I don't know if you heard about this story. The car fell off a cliff and all four family members survived the violent fall to the rocks below, with the highway patrol even saying disturbing facts coming out after this incident. The CHP investigators worked throughout the night interviewing witnesses and gathering evidence from the scene. So this is where it takes a turn. Based on the evidence collected, investigators developed probable cause to believe this incident was an intentional act. So the first thing people seem to assume that have never driven a Tesla. Now, for context, I have driven over 25,000 miles in my Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, and I frequently use Autopilot. But neither Autopilot nor full self-driving were activated in this example. The driver allegedly took the family over the cliff, unfortunately, and that investigation is ongoing. My Tesla Model 3 has literally saved my family's life, and I was in the car with my little kiddo in the back seat. And this is important if you drive alone, if you have a family, if you're unaware when it comes to Tesla safety. We're going to talk about the resiliency. Why did that car protect the family? What was it about the design specifically? We're going to get into that in a minute. But your car will put on the brake for you. It has emergency braking, not just a warning or a chime, and it literally saved my life. So I was driving home one day with my kiddo in the back, like I said, and a car from the left lane tried to get onto the highway and nearly cut off 2 or 3 cars in the process. Now I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and before I could even react, because you might be a good driver, but you can't account for others on the road. And in these unexpected emergency situations where you're not ever expecting someone to cut across lanes, or maybe something happens where they slam on their brakes, maybe you happen to be distracted, your car, your Tesla, applied the brakes for me before my foot even touched the pedal, thus saving for sure injury and of course damage to the vehicle. So don't take my word for it. When it comes to car safety, this car that went over the cliff was a Model Y, and just recently 2 of the top car manufacturing test agencies. So this agency is called the Australian New Car Assessment Program. The Model Y received the highest scores ever in history for car safety. So that other agency was the Euro NCAP, and then also the Model Y received a 5-star rating for the United States agency, which is the NHTSA. The National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration, like I said, gave it a 5-star rating. So they've done samples time and time again. I want to make sure you're aware of this. The Model Y, the reason it may have saved that family, there were no major injuries reported. So obviously, in a disastrous scenario where your car happens to land on its roof or roll over, it's very difficult to roll a Tesla because the center of gravity is so low and heavy, with that battery being the floor of your vehicle. So that is actually called a structural battery pack. That's another reason why Teslas and the Model Y get 5-star ratings. But your windshield, that top glass area, can withstand multiple vehicles of weight on top of it. So if you were to roll your car, was this the key feature that saved this family's life potentially from dangerous injury? New Model Ys are going to have a structural battery pack where the batteries are the floor, allowing for that rigidity and resistance to roll over. It also has that reinforced glass that I just mentioned, and finally, a single frame casting. It's a super strong aluminum casting that is not going to crumple. Now, typically cars in the Tesla as well on the back and the front are meant to crumple, but the rigidity of the actual frame itself is made up of less parts. This is a unique feature to Teslas. I can't stress this enough. So if you were impacted from the side, if you unfortunately were to roll your vehicle, maybe someone sideswipes you, that actual structure of the car is unmatched for Tesla safety. Let me talk about something other than the actual structure. So follow me here, because this is another unsung hero of a Tesla, something that not a lot of other channels talk about. I want to make you aware. Autopilot, extremely safe. Actually, the chances of a collision when you have security features enabled, like autopilot, like that emergency braking, are a fraction of what the collisions are according to the United States data. There is no arguing this. Tesla tracks they even track these small fender bender incidences. Traditionally, and this is straight from Tesla statistics, I'm not even making this up, they follow how many accidents happen in a Tesla. They know that because these sensors in the car will track all of that, even the low speed collisions. So a lot of people don't know this. As far as Tesla safety, autopilot has two functions. If you tap down once on the right steering wheel column, that'll put you in cruise control. Many cars, if not all, have cruise control. Double tap twice on that stock steering wheel, then you're now in autopilot. It'll keep you at a certain distance away from the car, even if it comes to a stop at a red light. An autopilot will not acknowledge stop signs or red lights. It'll slow down if a car in front of you has already slowed down or stopped at that intersection. The point is, look, there are 8 cameras surrounding your car, constantly sensing the vehicles and objects around you and identifying what it should avoid. If something comes into your lane, there's been other channels that have showed autopilot avoiding a for sure injury or damage to the car because of these sensors. Last but not least, I want to talk and address batteries. When it comes to safety and protecting your family, not only is that frame and the structural battery pack, the rigidity of your Tesla very important, the battery safety is just as important. Well, based on the miles driven, when it comes to vehicle fires, a Tesla is multitudes safer as far as frequency of vehicle fires than a traditional ICE vehicle. That is apples to apples comparison. You can look at the statistics right here based on what Tesla tracks versus what's reported from the official administration here in the United States. So which car would you rather be in if you find yourself at the mercy of other drivers on the road? If you're trying to keep yourself a safe distance away from cars in front or behind you, which car would you rather be in? All I know is I am so thankful this family came out with no major injuries. Now, if you did learn something about Tesla safety, please make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and drop a like. Again, this is Matt from Front to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.